Wilson, thank you.
Our next speaker is a photographer and a YouTuber. He has been into photography for 12 years and counting. He's into portrait, event and urban wildlife photography. He loves stories, capturing the emotions in an event and also preserving these memories. As a photographer, he has worked with several couples in documenting their special day, as well as big organizations like the Red Cross and the Institute of Human Virology. He loves traveling and exploring, which has led him to make videos on YouTube. As a content creator, his goal is to travel to every local government area in the country, exploring the culture, lifestyle, and history of the Nigerian people. It brings him joy to see the impact his work on YouTube has had on several people, leading some to either invest or relocate to the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Wilson Ojobo, aka Bigwillz.
Sir, this is the first time in my life I'm seeing myself on the screen like this. And it's so nice, you know. For the past 3 days, good afternoon, everyone. For the past 3 days, today is the third day, it has been awesome being here. I mean, there are so many things I've learned from Auntie Kemi and the other people that have spoken. And, you know, it's amazing when you see you're in the journey and some people have gone ahead of you and you're learning freely. I mean, these are things people pay for and you're just here getting these things. And sometimes I also feel that because we get them this free, we don't know how important they are. Until we start this journey, we realize that those things that they gave to us were important. All right, you guys are welcome. My name is Bigwillz. Or Wilson Otobo, not Otoro, but we're close. And I'm a photographer. Let me start telling my story, because my story started here. There is no way I'm going to tell the story of who I am without telling the story of where I started from, which is the lighthouse. The reason I need to say this is that there are so many young boys here, young girls, who want to start doing something like this, and sometimes you have to join a system that will help you grow. You know, a system that will allow you to explore your talents, the gifts you have, the things you do. Because being here, every Sunday that I shoot, I learn something new. Because it offered me an opportunity, because I didn't have a camera. Like Pastor said earlier on, it was here I first got the first camera that I started using. And fortunately for me, I had internet. At least I was working, I had some money. So I spent a lot of time on the internet, on YouTube, learning. I think I took about 4 months off just to learn. I'll watch videos, I'll practice, I'll watch videos, I'll practice, I'll come to church, thank God for service, Wednesday service, Sunday service, I'll shoot. Of course, when I looked at the pictures I took when we first started, I'm like, whoa, whoa. But the beauty is that the more I kept doing it, the better I became, you know. And like Pastor said, there was a time they wanted to go to Kenya. I told myself, I want to go. The reason that I love traveling, and sometimes when I think about my life, I say, if there was YouTube when I graduated from the university, I believe I wouldn't have worked anywhere else. I'll have just been doing YouTube. But unfortunately, there was none. There was no internet, there was no phone, there was nothing when I graduated. And here I am today, doing some things that some of you want to do, in spite of my age, you know. And I want to say this here because age is a thing that I want to believe. Yesterday when somebody asked a question about his age and saying, can I be able to do this with my age and all that? I started smiling. I said, you're not as old as me. I'm way older than you and you're complaining. Just get up and do it. Because age for me, this is how I define it, is the jail we put ourselves in that doesn't allow us to do the things that God has blessed us with, the talents that we have. We just jail ourselves. Because let me ask this question. How many of us here know how old we're going to get to before we die? How many? None. And you're just 35 and you're complaining. Do you know you're going to live up to 80, 90 years? And instead of to start something today that will help you, You're complaining about your age because you're thinking about, say, your classmates, your friends. Some people will say, why are you doing this? Because I know I've been asked those kind of questions like, why are you doing this? And I smile because I know I'm the one that have the passion. You don't have the passion. So my answer to that question was that you will know when I get there. You will see me when I get there. Yeah. You know, and I've not allowed not having the right equipment or whatever I need to stop me, because I have, okay, like when we went to Kenya, sir, I shot the videos I shot with one Nokia phone. That's what I shot those videos with. It didn't matter. And look at you guys, the cameras you have in your pocket are way better than the one I started with. And you keep complaining you want to have Sony, whatever, Canon, R5, you want to have all those things. You will not go anywhere if you keep complaining about things like that. And I believe that is the major thing that has kept most people where they are. You just want to have the best before you start. And I'm telling you, you will never get anywhere if you don't start with what you have. Because even if you start today, and I assure you in a year's time, when you look at the job you've done or the things you've created, you will tell yourself, whoa, did I just post that? People liked it that time. It's crazy. But you see, if you had not started, you wouldn't have grown, you know. So for me, I want to say, if you have it in mind to start writing script like Auntie does here, just start. And when you want to start, I'll beg of you, don't go seeking advices from people who have not gone on that journey, because they will discourage you. They have no experience, so they don't have anything to share with you. What they have is their fear they will share with you. You want to start video? Bros, what do you get? They will now start comparing you to some bigger people and making you feel that, if you start, you're going to fail. My dear, just leave them alone. Go to someone who has already done it, somebody who has the experience, who can encourage you. This person will tell you, Wilson or whoever, look, just do it. And if you keep doing it, you'll do better. I'm telling you, it's just to start. Like Idowu said yesterday, just start. And that start thing is one thing I've seen a lot of people who will tell you, Bigwillz, I want to start making YouTube videos. You know what? I have started making videos, but I'm saving them. Or I want to get this light. Jesus, I'll just be looking at these guys are joking. You want to wait for light first. Just start. If you wait for this light, you'll never start. I'm grateful to God that He gave me the opportunity being in this house to have learned this trade of photography, and at the end transferred that knowledge into video. And today, I'm so grateful because you won't believe, it's not about what YouTube pays me. What the doors that YouTube has opened up for me is so big. I'm telling you, truth be told, you know, it's just a beautiful thing to start. It's just a beautiful thing to start. And like me, I've not allowed age to be a factor at all. And I tell you, if you do think about age, you'll never start. And like I said a few minutes ago, I don't know how long I'm going to live. And there is a beauty about age, sir. Those that are 30 today, in 20 years' time, they'll be 50. And they'll watch your content because they are older. These poor boys here who think they are just 18 now, at 28, you're 38. At 38, you're looking at something different. You're not thinking the way you're thinking now. And now you tell yourself, okay, that guy is, you know, I can't watch that content. When you get there, you watch that content. And it will be there waiting because that content doesn't go away. It's there. Like Idowu said yesterday, we all dabble into things, you know. We start something, it might not go well. Like she was saying about food, you know, she was saying, what if she starts this thing and it doesn't go well? My sister, change, just keep going. First of all, when you start YouTube, you don't even know where you're going to. For some of us, I didn't know, but I knew something very well because I remember way back in Sheraton, I wrote a proposal that I told you about the places I want to travel to, the country, all the local government in Nigeria. I want to make stories about them. Pastor just tapped me. I said, Wilson, this is going to cost money. I said, Jesus, I don't have that money. But today, I've traveled so many local governments in this country. I didn't plan. Yes, I wrote that proposal over like 6, 7 years ago. But when I started traveling, I didn't think of that proposal. I just started traveling. I just started traveling. I'll go to places, tell the story of the people I meet, the local people, spend some time with them, whatever they're doing. I just want to express what they're doing in a way that I can tell it, Like she said yesterday, Auntie said here, she said that you must tell a story. If you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell it for you. And you see, all the stories like Nigerians have been told are stories that white people have told us differently because they share it from their own point of view. And most times, they only say it to their people. They sell the story to their people, but not to us. And we're supposed to tell our own story because we've allowed them over the years to tell our story. It's a big thing. I mean, just starting is the main thing, all right? I know. I'm here to actually talk about telling stories with photography, but the truth is that they're all intertwined. You have to, as long as that's what you do, you just say it. And here's the thing. Assuming now I'm asked to tell the story of Pastor with photography, say in his office. If I tell Pastor, okay, sit down here, let me take this shot, and I take that shot. All right, Pastor, I think you should stand by the window. I take that shot, stand here, and I take maybe 2 or 3 shots. Have I told the story of Pastor? No, I haven't. Those pictures, yes, they are part of his story, but they're not his story. To really tell the story of Pastor, I need to take pictures of the things that are in that office that tells us who he is. Let me use that for example. Maybe the handbag, the things on his hands. I need to take closer shot of those. I need to take the closer shot of the tom-toms he likes to take. I need to take shots of maybe the family portrait that is sitting there, the cup he uses to take water. I need to take pictures of all these things. These are the things that tell the story of who Pastor is. The pen he uses, the Bible he uses in the office, these are the things that tell the story. It's not just him alone, So when I'm being hired to cover an event, what I do is that I look out for the things that are strange. I don't just take the normal pictures. Okay, yes, I take normal pictures. Yes, I do, because you need to add all of them to what you're giving to the client. But I look for the unique things. I wait to see somebody do something. Sometimes, even in church, when I used to cover church services, I wait. Sometimes I just see something in the side of my eyes, and I see somebody do something. I will wait. I will hold the camera there. I'm waiting. You must do that thing again. I'm waiting. Sometimes the person never does it, but sometimes it happens. And when the person does it, it fills me with joy because I waited and it happened. And for me, that's the story I'm trying to tell. There was a time, I think, there was a time we had a church service. It was, I think, Easter or Christmas. A drama took place, and we took pictures with my colleague behind there. Yeah, that's Jonah. We took pictures, and at the end of the service, when we posted those pictures, Papa sent me a message and said, "You captured it all." He filmed me. You don't understand what it means. Papa says you've done something well. He's crazy. Do you understand? Because Papa is critical. He knows. Because, look, and that's the way I am too. Because it's like when people come to the studio and they say, Bigwillz, I want to buy maybe a new camera. I said, okay, which one do you have now? The person will tell me. I said, okay, how long have you been using it? Have you really used it? It's true that you have not used it. Look, you need to be able to close your eyes and know where everything is on that camera. Let that camera be until that camera becomes an obstacle to your progress before you know you need to change it. Not when you can still use it, because people just tell you because they have a friend in Lagos who bought a new one, they just want to change this. Do you know this? Do you? And when people come to my studio and they're telling me, I'll just be smiling. I say, guy, you don't sit down. Learn this thing. Learn this thing. Sometimes I even tell them, okay, I use paper to close the screen behind the camera. I say, go and take 12 shots, and come and show me. That means you're not seeing what you're taking. That's how I with normal camera those days. There was you don't see anything. You just go and take pictures. Go and take pictures and come back. If you can take good pictures without looking at the back of the camera, then I know you're good. Because now the things are so easy, you can just pick up our phone and praise God for that. We can do that. Let's not allow things like this be an obstacle. We're praying or we're wishing to have the greatest and the latest, and we're not doing the right thing. Get up and do it. I know a lot of us, like I said before, we dabble. You may want to start content creation and you want to make, I don't know, maybe you want to do something about food, like you just mentioned. And maybe by the time you start, you realize that, I don't have enough money to buy all the ingredients. Why not you make a video talking about how to buy ingredients? You don't have to buy it. You talk about the kind of ingredient that you can use to make the food. You don't have to make the food. I don't know whether it makes sense. The truth is that you never know exactly where you're going to. Because by the time you start doing it, you discover something new. Just do that something. You just keep doing it because you're just starting. New audience will come. New people will come. Sometimes they may not even like the first one you were doing, the one you thought you really wanted to do. You discover there is something else that you started doing that they start liking, you know. And for me, I think one of the greatest things I've seen is this obstacle where people don't want to start because they want to have everything in order. And then again, I think I should say this. People say consistency is what you need, right? But you have to be careful with that word consistency. Consistency might not mean posting a video every day. No, that might not be consistency. Consistency might be doing one thing over and over and over again because the algorithm, YouTube, wants to know what you are doing. They want to know what you're doing because if they know you do, say, you do videos about clothes, maybe you talk about fashion. If you do fashion so much, after some time they recognize you as that. That's what you do. You know, that's consistency. You might be considered to doing fashion today, tomorrow you do this book, next tomorrow. But you see, when you're starting, you don't do anything, so you always dabble into things. But at the time you find something that, okay, resonates with your audience and they like that, you start doing that thing consistently and you will grow. I know yesterday we were told that we need to start earning money, international money. You shouldn't be earning just Naira alone. This is an avenue to earn that kind of money. Because there is this joy when you have an alert, you know, you see some pounds coming into your account or dollars or whatever it is. You know, it's nice. Then you can, you know, you're making good money. You understand? But when you're starting, please let money not be the issue. Because if you put money first, you will not, look, you'll be frustrated, exactly. You'll be frustrated because you need to get a certain number of subscribers, certain number, I think 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views before you can get monetized. And I tell you, it is frustrating because you're waiting for people to subscribe. And let me also share something that is important. Not everybody in this room will subscribe to your channel. Just know that. First of all, we don't like the same thing. So you may be doing the content that I don't really like. Do you understand? So you may show me your channel and say, this is my channel, this is what I do. I say, okay. Maybe you have waited for me to subscribe and I don't subscribe, you're upset. Look, just know that it's not all of us that will subscribe to your channel. But at the same time, it is good for people to support you so that you can grow. But the problem with people subscribing to your channel and not watching your YouTube videos is that YouTube will see, the algorithm will feel as if they don't really like what he's doing. That's why they are not watching. And that's not good for you. I'd rather you just watch and like it than subscribe and don't watch my videos. Really, I don't want you to subscribe and you don't watch my videos because it tells the algorithm that, these people that, all these 10,000 people that subscribe to this guy, only, say 200 people are watching his video. It means this video is not interesting. That's why they're not watching, because they subscribe. Why are they not watching? Do you understand? So don't be upset if your family member decide not to subscribe to your channel. Please just know that they might not, they like your content, but that's not what they really want to watch. But if they subscribe and they follow you, praise God, just be happy that at least you have some people that have followed you, you know. Anyway, I want to just show a couple of pictures. And I want to talk about, before I show those pictures, I want to say something about photography and art. Photography and art are almost the same thing. You know, when an artist paints something and he puts it on the wall, every one of us will go and stand and look at that picture, and we'll tell different stories of that picture. We see it different because our life experiences are different. Where we're coming from is different. So when we see those pictures, we'll read it based on our experiences and what we feel. You know, so is pictures too. So when people see pictures, they will read differently, just as the way I've explained about art. So I'm going to roll some pictures, and I'm going to tell you the story behind why I took those pictures. They may not, they may be different from what you think in your heart, but this is the reason why I took those pictures. Seeing this picture, I don't know what was gone through you guys' mind. I actually took this picture some years ago. I was sitting in a car wash, and I saw this woman coming in front of me. I went to my car, took my camera, and I waited for them. I took several pictures of these people when they were coming in front, and when they passed me, I took this picture. The reason why I actually took this picture was very simple. I was wondering the hard work that goes into this thing that they do. They are carrying these tubers of yam on their head, and they are carrying their babies behind them. That is hard work. Even if you as a man is asked to carry that yam, after you get tired, but those men will carry this thing, they still carry their baby will cry, they need food, look, that is hard work. I just wanted to capture that, and that's what I did with this first picture. Second picture, please. All right, this I would say is a snapshot because I was in traffic and it was raining. You can see from the glass there, it was raining, and the girl there was reading on the bike. So I quickly grabbed my camera and I took this shot before they started moving. What occurred to me was that, why was she reading on the bike? What's her story? What's the thing in her mind? Why is she sitting on the bike and she's reading? Some of the things that came to my mind was this. Maybe she's a house help. She didn't have enough time to read at home. Maybe she was doing so much work. Maybe they have a test and she has not read. She needed to just read. I needed to capture it. After taking, I think this was the second shot, the bike went away, and I was just wondering, but that's life for her, and I needed to capture that. Third one, please. Okay, this picture I took somewhere. We all know Aso Rock, right? This picture was taken at the base of Aso Rock. But at the base of Aso Rock, there's a stream or a lake there, and water's flowing into it. And I actually wanted to take a picture of this Aso Rock in a different perspective, because a lot of people have taken this picture of Aso Rock. In a way, every picture you see of Aso Rock is almost the same. I wanted a different angle. I didn't want to take the normal picture people were taking of Aso Rock. So while I was trying to go around where to take this picture, I heard these clangs of pans and plates somewhere. I was wondering what was making the sound, so I went through the fence and I went. I couldn't really pass through the fence. You can see, okay, you might not see, there's a slit at the side of the picture. You see, that's the barbed wire. I took this picture of these children playing there. And what occurred to me was that these children are never aware that this place that they are, look at the magnificent Aso Rock everybody talks about in Nigeria or whatever, everybody knows, and they're just there. You know, it's just, that's what occurred to me at the time I took this picture, you know. All right, next picture, please. If you are like me and you grew up in Kaduna, those days, there are some people they call Meshai. Not the normal Meshai that boils tea in the evening, no. These are Shwara people. They call them, they're Arab people that goes around selling shai. They have one kettle thing with fire inside. That's what they walk around with. This is how they make tea. I went to Dawaki, I think a few years ago, and I went to fix a generator. While I was there, I saw this man with this tea. I said, Jesus, I must capture this, because it is something that reminded me of my childhood. I've seen these people then, but you know, there was no picture then. You didn't have any camera to take pictures. But when I saw this, I needed to take this. I took the picture of this, took the picture of the man pouring the tea, the wide view and all that. But anyway, this is just to remind me of Meshai. All right, next picture, please. Okay. We know the situation in the eastern part of Nigeria. A lot of people were displaced and they moved some of them to Abuja here. This was taken in an IDP camp. And what struck me when I took the picture was this. People that are suffering are having children, they're having twins. Meanwhile, people are praying, they have money, and they don't have any child. God just does what he wants to do regardless. You know, you may think because you have so much money to take care of children, God will give you. He will give to you when he wants to give to you. And those he doesn't want to give to, he will not give to. And this is a gift for them in spite of the suffering that they are going through. Next picture. This picture was also taken at the same place. But why I took this picture was because the girl carrying this baby is also a child. And I was wondering, God. Anyway, next picture. All right. I worked with an organization that went on Easter Day. They went to feed some people in one other IDP camp. So I went with them. And this picture actually shows how happy these children were just being fed by a plate of rice and Fanta. You will not believe this thing. Pastor, you were there on that day, but I'm sure you remember. Yeah, you were there. Yes. These kids were so happy. Just a plate of rice and Fanta. And when I made an inquiry about this place recently, I was told that there is a school here that you paid 150 naira, I think a week or a month, for a child to go to school. And I started wondering, okay, because of that, we actually started a project. We're trying to do a documentary about them and bless some kids there. When they were talking yesterday, we were told that even if it means saving some sort of money to bless your community with, I started wondering, 3,000 naira would take like 20 children to school here. 3,000. That we buy pizza or we buy shawarma with. We take care of 20 children in school. That's one project I've taken upon myself. Anyway, I know when it comes on YouTube, you guys will see it. I'm already working on that. Next slide, please. We were told that men shouldn't cry. The reason for this picture, I actually put up this picture, is to show that when you are asked to cover an event, you are asked to take pictures of the things that people will see that will become long-lasting in their memories. When I'm asked to cover, say, a wedding, what I do is to capture the things that normally the people who hired me will not have seen. That is why they hired me, to be able to tell story that when they look at their work, they will say, oh, okay, this one happened here. Wow, that is why I cover events. This person will have forgotten what was said on that day that he worked. But when he sees this picture, he will remember. You know, you're there to cover events for people. No, it's not a photo shoot. You're not there to glamorize it. You're just there to cover, to capture things that the people will see, and they will say, even if they are forgotten, when they see, they'll remember what happened on that day. All right, next picture. Well, I know everything is not always about sadness or cry. Sometimes there is joy. Sorry. There is joy and people get happy. Like you can see these guys getting married. The groom is rocking his wife. All right, next slide, please. And this picture is the reason why we are in church. Without this tomb open, there is nothing. And this picture was taken in church. And I'm glad. And I'm glad I was the one that took this picture. Well, if you are here and you want to start a YouTube channel or something like that, or you want to go into photography or videography, I want to advise that find somewhere to render your service for free. Beg them. look, offer your service. Even if you don't know, you tell them you want to learn. And don't ever think, don't ask them to pay you money. Because that's one of the things I realized. Somebody comes to you, they want to learn, and they want you to pay them. If you want to learn, find someone to mentor you. Just find someone to mentor you and offer your services for free. Because if we are asked to pay, you can't pay. So just learn. And when you're good, other people... Okay, let me just say this just before I round up. After I learned from this person and I stopped working with the person kept calling me, Bigwillz, please, there's an event in Kaduna, I can't go. Can you help me cover it? I'll jet off. Without pay, I'll drive my car, fill my car, I'll go, shoot, come back. I'll give the person, okay, don't worry, I'll see you. I didn't care whether the person paid me or not. There was one that even happened, sir. They had an event, all the journalists came, they wrote their names, and we came. By the time we were done, somebody came and saw my pictures and said, whoa, I like your pictures. Can I get them? I said, no, I'm actually working for someone. The person said, okay, I will pay for them. I said, okay, you can come and meet me. It was a Saturday. By Sunday, the person came to church. We were in Sheraton then. The person came, and I called the other person that sent me to do the job that, look, somebody wants this picture. What do I do? The person said, tell them to pay. I said, how much? He said, tell them to pay 10,000. I said, okay. Sir, you have to pay 10,000 for the pictures. The person said, okay, they will pay. They came on Sunday in church. We were in church, copied the pictures, and they left. I took the 10,000 naira. I went to the lady. I said, here is the 10,000. She said, okay, I'll give you your share later. I went to today. My share has not come since. But you see, those things don't matter to me. You see, is it now? The money I make now is way more than 10,000 naira. So what is it? The important thing is just to serve. Just be there. And sometimes people will step on you. They will use you. Yes, be used. So that you can grow. All right? Thank you, sir, for having me today, sir.
Can we celebrate Wilson? I doff my cap for you.